And when you applied to this school, did you have to choose between A levels and IB? What made you make the decision of choosing an IB system?
I think the opportunities, because obviously you do 6 subjects instead of 3, and I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do when I'm older. I know I wanted to think of doing law, but I wasn't exactly sure. So I thought, well, doing 6 subjects, if I end up deciding to do something differently, when I'm older, I have more opportunity to.
Yeah.
But with A levels, you have to know exactly what you want to do. But then also all the sports and stuff at St. Clare's, because most A-level schools, it's a lot more focused on academics, but here you have to do sport, you have to do creatives, activities, stuff like that.
Which school were you at before?
I was at Down House, so all girls boarding school, very religious, so very different to St. Clare's. It's a really good school, but it's only A-levels. So I know I didn't want to stay there. I didn't want to stay there because I wanted to go to IB school.
Have you made any Chinese friends in this school?
I have. There are a couple Chinese girls, or they're Chinese and also mixed with something else, so it may be English or American. But yeah, I mean, you meet people from all over. I mean, I know some people from Nigeria, someone from South Africa, someone from America, Canada. Yeah. You get people from all over. Yeah. So it's really nice.
Yeah. How do you find the international mixture in this school? I guess it's very different from Down House.
Yeah, it's very different. I really like it because you get to explore different cultures. And also, I'm from the Bahamas, so I'm very far away. So when I was coming here, I was worried that I wouldn't know the English system. And at my old school, everybody basically lived in London, and being the only one that didn't, you felt quite left out. But being here, everybody stays at school, everybody's in the same boat where they're not at home, they don't have the same support system they would wherever they're from. So it's just a lot more supportive and interesting. I mean, you get to talk to people that have completely different languages, completely different lives, cultures, traditions, religion. I mean, it's really interesting.
Yeah. What's the proportion of time you think you spend on academics compared to other activities?
I mean, right now I'm in exam season, so we're about to have exams, so I'm spending most of my time doing revision. But in general, because you have to do creativity and activity of service, every single day after school, basically, as soon as school ends, I'm either doing a sport, or I'm doing student magazine, or working at the local nursery, something like that. But also I set it for myself where once it hits about 7:38, I say no more work, let me relax, or else I'll get way too stressed.
So what do you do after that time then?
Either I'll play card games, or I'll call some friends, or art is one of my hobbies, so I end up doing a lot of drawing and art, or listening to music, stuff like that.
How do you balance your time between academics and other activities? Obviously there are a lot to do for IB.
It can get difficult sometimes, like, I'm not gonna lie, it can be quite hard at times to balance everything, especially when you have internal assessments coming up and oral exams and stuff like that. But I think the main thing is being able to kind of talk to my teachers. So if I'm struggling to get something in on time, I'll talk to them, I'll say, hi, would I be able to have an extension? Or they're really understanding, but also making sure I have a good schedule. So knowing, okay, I'm gonna have this sport for an hour, so I need to schedule in some time where I can work on maths, for example. So just being really organized and not procrastinating.
I mean, you feel very comfortable speaking to your teachers about it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, sometimes it can be nerve-wracking if, especially at the beginning of the year when I hadn't known them for very long. But especially here, obviously you talk to your teachers with their first names. So you feel a lot more comfortable with them, and that it's not this hierarchical relationship where they're like kings and queens and you can't ask them for everything. So it's definitely a bit more comfortable in that sense.
Yeah.